Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Lovely to have all of you with us here on this Saturday. We got a lot to discuss today. Pretty newsy day. Brian, if you were here on Friday's Morning Scone, I shared with you that there was going to be some pretty cool news, pretty cool story. It was the Brian Kelly $1 Million Match Challenge, so kind of got wind of that. And I guess I'll spill the beans to y'all as well. They have another donor already committed. It's anonymous. I don't know who it is, but they have another donor committed to match the $1 million already. So if the fans get to $1 million collectively, however that would go, notice now you're adding, there'd be 3 million effectively, so, or even more. So go this way. So what are you doing?
What is that?
You tell me, what is that?
Blow.
Oh, it's over there. It's a blow. He's watching a blow on the. Okay, now he's gone. He gone. Gone. Anyway, so $1 million match. You know, I understand there's not a lot of people happy with how the season went, not the least of which is Brian Kelly, and I understand that. But there's one thing nobody can question. That's that man's commitment to winning here. It's the second $1 million donation he's already made. He contributed $1 million for the athletic training facility that they built on the back of the football ops. Now contributing $1 million, which so coaches can't contribute to NIL or the collective. So his donation will go to TAF, and then TAF can appropriate those funds, however, within the athletic department, potentially even for revenue share. So they'll get where they need to go, so to speak. Bauer Sharp, tight end from Oklahoma. He signs with LSU. That's awesome news. So one of the musts, you've checked that box. Tigers also, that's on my notes. Tigers are making hay. Excuse me. So it's a blow. Tigers making hay with Braylon Moore, projected to land him. He's the 2-year starting center at Virginia Tech. So again, we keep talking about all the musts. Tight end was a must. They've already got Bauer Sharp. We talked about offensive line. Braylon Moore is projected by everybody to sign with LSU, which means it's probably done. Jakeem Jackson, the cornerback from Florida, projected to sign with LSU. Barry and Brown, the receiver, absolute must from Kentucky, explosive, dynamic guy, projected to sign with LSU. They've got defensive end from Florida on campus this weekend. Zechariah Poyser, the safety from Jacksonville State, said, "Y'all, they're making hay. I mean, you got to finish. You got to get these across the finish line, but." Go back. Told y'all, talk to me in a month. I have a feeling we're going to be having a very different conversation about this team in the new year than a week ago on signing day, when people were melting because of Jakeem Stewart and Underwood and Cade Phillips. Forget his name. Let's say some good mornings here. Wendell Norman, good morning. Ray Langlois, good morning. Brian Penton, good morning from Cleveland. The cornerback that committed out of the portal. Well, I'm wondering if that's Jakeem Jackson. I'm guessing it is. He was projected. Let me see if that happened. Hope so. Okay, Jakeem Jackson officially a Tiger 38 minutes ago. That was one of the worst kept secrets possible. Thank you, Brian. Hunt, comma, can you write this? Question mark. I just started morning scone. Period. Marler, comma, graphic, question mark.
What?
It's a blue. Yeah, so Jakeem Jackson. Okay, that's official. LSU's announced that Jakeem Jackson signed. That's not what I wanted at all. Unfollow. I don't want that, Jakeem Jackson. Yeah, so Jakeem Jackson, we talked about him. He was the number 3 cornerback in America. He was the number 3 cornerback in America when he signed in 2023. Played a couple games, played the whole season for Florida as a freshman in a reserve role. This past season, started the first 2 games, was injured, missed the rest of the season, went into the portal, and now he's coming to reunite with Corey Raymond. So now you look at the cornerback room, you got Ashton Stamps back, you got Jakeem Jackson, you got DJ Pickett coming in. PJ Woodland, who looked like he was going to the portal, said fake news coming back. So now you got 4 that you really like. So onward. Austin, good morning. Had a customer back out of a big deal at work at the last minute. Bryce Underwood style. Focus on what you have, not what you lost, right? Yeah. It's a good way to do it. Easier said than done, but Thomas, good morning. Austin, Carrie Hughes, if you're watching, happy birthday. Oh, it's Carrie's birthday. Come on, man. That's awesome. Hunter, Jakeem to the boot. Corey Raymond does what he does best. Again, worst kept secret. But yes, trivia, good morning. Top player, position to need. You're jamming now. Bauer Sharp's in. Jakeem Jackson's in. Let's get the Braylon Moore news. Let's get the Berrien Brown news. Get rolling. Let's see. Bubba, good morning. Go Knights. Who are the Knights? Damon, good morning. Are you mean like, is that Army? You talking about the Black Knights? Ryan, opinion on Basil, Hayden Toast, and Elijah Craig Small Batch. So Elijah Craig Small Batch, I think, is one of the best whiskeys that you'll buy. $27, $30, somewhere around there. I think everyone should have Elijah Craig Small Batch. It's one of the ones that I always recommend in my sort of starter kit to people. Basil Hayden Toast, I'm not a fan of, and I do like toasted barrel whiskeys. I think they missed the mark. A little too mild. I think Basil Hayden, just the standard Basil Hayden bourbon is fine. It's a good less than $30 or right about $30 whiskey that I'd recommend to people. A little milder. Every other expression they've tried, I have not liked, but to each their own.
I don't see a Bauer. I don't see a back. You know, I don't see a Bauer.
Devin Johnson, good morning. Glad Drew's feeling better. Thank you, Devin. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. We had a rough week last week, but he has certainly turned the corner, and he had a great week this week. So thank you very much for that. Thomas Garmy beat Navy. My dad's Navy guy, so I tend to pull for the midshipman in this one, but I'll be watching. Really, what I'm pulling for is the under in this one. Hey, Brian, what did Drew get that saying from? What the go this? You got 2 buttons undone. You showing a little chest this morning? Okay. You come back anytime now. The go this way? I don't know. I mean, we ride around in the car at night, and I'm like, which way do you want to go? You want to go this way? You want to go that way? He'll go this way, because he just sings songs, everything. So, go this way, that way. 44, the legendary Brian Kelly didn't donate that. That's called paying debt for scamming LSU out of all that money. Got it. Awesome. Gotta love the positivity. Scamming LSU out of all that money. Imagine being such a miserable human being that's your perspective in life, where your head coach donates $1 million to help your program win, and you have a negative sentiment about it. Well, it makes sense, actually, because if you're a human that's going to put a frog a crying frog with a Saints hoodie on as your avatar, then you're probably just a generally unhappy person in life. But God bless. I'll be praying for you and hoping for better days ahead. Taz, out of the Lions, OC, and DC, who would you prefer? Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator. And Aaron Glenn may end up being a great head coach too. They both may be. But I'm just looking at copycat league. The young OCs from that tree are the ones that everyone's trying to get their hands on right now. So that's the direction I would go. And then this is probably very unfair to Aaron Glenn. Sorry, we're getting the Jakeem Jackson story posted to LouisianaSports.net right now. Please go check out LouisianaSports.net. Appreciate that greatly if you would. Let me make sure I'm editing that. Load. Anyway, okay. Austin Kelly's donating $1 million for 2 weeks. He took off before the ban. I'll tell you what, y'all are crazy. So says commits. He didn't commit. He signed. There it is. All right. If you're on the text line, load. There we go. If you're on the text line, you're about to get it. If you're on the text line, let me know that you got this. It's going. Boop. Here we go. Send. All right. Morning, Matt. Who you got for Heisman? Oh, Travis Hunter's going to win it. That issue has long since been decided. And quite honestly, if I had a vote, Travis Hunter or Dylan Gabriel would have been my choice. I think it's kind of comical how Dylan Gabriel has been largely ignored in that conversation, especially considering the Heisman is usually a quarterback award. And Dylan Gabriel's been pretty outstanding this year on the only undefeated number 1 ranked team, Big Ten champion. So a little odd that he got really ignored. But I probably would have voted for Travis Hunter too. Why are LSU wide receivers transferring? We have a solid quarterback. Playing time? I don't know. I mean, who specifically are we talking about? I mean, I told y'all yesterday I got the CJ Daniels story for those that didn't hear it. He's going to Auburn. He is one of his teammates from Auburn, or I'm sorry, from Liberty is going there. Maybe I thought it might have been the quarterback, but then they got Jackson Arnold today. Go this way. Maybe it's another receiver. It told me the name. I forgot. I just don't know Liberty's roster. Forgive me. But one of his his good friends from Liberty, former teammates, is going. Is going to Auburn, and then Auburn called him and made an offer, and LSU didn't even have the opportunity to counter. It's just whatever they offered him was good enough, and he was like, "Okay, I'm in." And of course, he's playing for Hugh Freeze now. He played for Liberty, so is there like LSU didn't even have a chance to counter on CJ Daniels. So that's the story there. I mean, Shelton Sampson, I get it. Landon Ibieta, you're 3 years in, had injury issues, hasn't played. Sampson's a similar thing, just hasn't seen the field. I don't know who else. Who am I missing? Aaron Anderson's back. Xavier Thomas is back. Be getting Kyle Parker back off of injury. Looks like Chris Hilton's back. He's practicing for the bowl games. So it looks like Chris is going to be back. So unless there's somebody I'm missing, let me know. Thomas, Jinglegate, we'll get it. Hey, Christian, portal commits are flowing in. Question: if LSU adds 10 to 12 portal players, how many of those players do you expect to be top-tier immediate impact players? I mean, honestly, Christian, let me see what the names are at the end, but all of them. I mean, I expect Bauer Sharp to be your starting tight end against Clemson. I expect if you do get the center from Virginia Tech, I expect him to be your starter against Clemson. Jakeem Jackson, Ashton Stamps, I think, will be one starter, and it's going to be either DJ Pickett or Jakeem Jackson starting at the other corner. If you do get Barry and Brown done, I think there's a really good chance Barry and Brown and Aaron Anderson will be your two leading receivers next year. So, anyway, yeah, if you get one of these if you get Will Helt from Purdue, the defensive end out of the portal, he's going to be starting at defensive end. First snap against Clemson. So, oh my God. Damon Hinderberger, really loving the content. LouisianaSports.net. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Damon. I appreciate it. In all seriousness, this fall has been maybe the busiest of my life. With AFR, Locked on LSU, being the program director of 104.5 ESPN, and then launching LouisianaSports.net. The intention was to launch LouisianaSports.net in last spring, to be able to kind of ease in and kind of have all our systems in place so we could be sprinting by football season. Instead, this fall was like drinking from a fire hose. This was a full-on, full-time job that I've taken on, and I'm very proud of what we've done because we have, when our management put forth page view projections, I think I might have shared this with y'all. The November 2025 projections we hit in November 2024. So I'm pretty excited about that. So we've done really, it's me, Hunt, Ross, Jackson, and Chris Marler. It's really just four of us running the whole thing. Now we're expanding our staff, and I'm very excited about that. We got some exciting things coming after the first of the year and then into the fall as well. But I'm very excited about it. Kelly Gross, good morning. Cliff, what up, Chuck? Let's see. Sit us down, tell us why the season wasn't a total disaster. It wasn't a total disaster, but it wasn't up to anybody's expectation, man. 8-4, the 3-game losing streak is not at all what you wanted. I will argue that maybe going through that is the snap back to reality that they needed to know, hey, we got to go spend more money in the portal. And they're clearly doing that. Comment section spicy on BK this morning. I get it. Most don't like him, trying to figure it out. It's not like LSU's that building bridges, they cross it. It's not that people don't like Brian Kelly. People are disappointed with the way this season went, and I don't blame them at all. However, you can also absolutely acknowledge that man is pot committed to winning. Like, I don't see no other coaches donate millions of dollars to their programs. So, like, good on him. And the way I'll say it and have said it is, like, Brian Kelly has done everything in his coaching career. He's won more games than any active coach. He's won conference championships. He's been to a BCS championship game. He's been to the playoffs. He's won bowl games. He's done everything. He's checked every box except winning the last game, holding the trophy everybody wants. And so that is the one thing in his career he has not done. And he is pot committed to getting that done before his career is over. So join hands, unite, and push forward because everybody's unified on that goal. Patrick, morning. Tough loss for Neil and Dunham yesterday. Haven looked great. I didn't get to see the game, but I did see it was interesting because so Terrio, the Terrio children went to Dunham. The girls are now at Parkview, but Houston graduated from Dunham, and the girls were at Dunham until last year. They moved to Parkview for soccer, and Terrio, of course, coached baseball as well at Dunham. Well, Terrio's nephew plays for Catholic of New Iberia. So the Terrios went to the game yesterday in the Dome cheering for Catholic of New Iberia for their nephew. So it's interesting. Carly Cat, the sky isn't falling as much as I thought. Am I right? Yeah, the sky's not falling. Like, look, man, it's a glass half full, glass half empty proposition, right? You could look at it and go, man, it's 8-4. They were that close from losing to South Carolina and an Ole Miss and being 6-6. And you're right, that's true. But they were 8-4, and they were also, that close beating Florida, where you controlled the ball for 42 minutes of the game. You really dominated and found a way to lose, and then bad turnovers in the second half of the game. You were dominating against A&M. You're that close to being 10-2 and in the playoff. So both things are true. And ultimately, you tend to average those things out, which happened. That's why you're 8-4. I mean, you had a really nice win against Ole Miss. You had a really bad loss against Florida. You know what I mean? It's like you had a nice close win against South Carolina on the road. You had a game where you fell apart late against A&M and lost on the road. So it's just it balanced out. So you were. So how do you make sure more of those things fall on the positive side next year? So that's what they're addressing right now. Joseph, good morning from Kaplan. All right. Mark, Kelly, best LSU coach since Saban. I mean, that is an objective fact that he is the most Brian Kelly is the most accomplished coach LSU's ever hired. Now remember, Saban, of course, is the greatest coach ever. But at the time you hired him, he wasn't Nick Saban. He was the guy at Michigan State who had a 9-win season. So at the time you hired him, you've never hired a coach as accomplished as Brian Kelly. He's got to win the last game, though. And that's the only thing that he'll be judged by here. Brad David, good morning. Jackson didn't commit. He signed. Like, it's not a commitment. He is signed. LSU's put it out there. The paperwork's in. Jakeem Jackson has signed. Andrew, love what we're doing in the transfer portal. Go get a big-time defensive lineman. I like our chances to make a run. Trivia, you think the tight end transfer will fuel the OU game at the end of next season? No, I don't think that's the one. He wasn't like a major recruit to OU that was there for 3 years. I mean, he started his career at Southeastern. He was a one-year train. Think of it this way. That's like C.J. Daniels going to Auburn. If LSU played Auburn, I would be like, you think C.J. Daniels will fuel that game? No, I mean, he was a one-year guy at Oklahoma, and good on him. I mean, he's maximizing his portal value before he goes to the NFL. So good for him. Patrick, love we got Jackson and the OU tight end from the portal. Need to get more to fill out the depth, elevate to 25. Big Wade, a little off topic. Do you think Kate Aaron Beatty will be as good as Cressy was behind the plate? So Big Wade, the thing to remember is, like, Brad Cressy wasn't a great defensive catcher. They platooned that year in 2000 with Jorgensen, who became a big leaguer. Cressy was an incredible hitter and for his entire time in college, but defensively, he was not a great defensive catcher. I I'm not saying he was bad, but like Jorgensen was the guy that ended up playing in the show. So anyway, I don't know if that's answering your question, but Aaron Beatty is a guy that, boy, he's got tremendous upside, man. He was thought to be a guy going into his senior year that was a surefire first-round pick, was going to sign, slumped a little bit in his senior year. You fell on draft boards a little bit and ended up at school. So it's gonna be fun watching him play. David, good morning. So yeah, suit up. I love it. Jacob, having your show brightens my morning. Thank you, Jacob. Very kind, man. Especially this morning, girlfriend broke up with me through a text message. Sorry to hear that, man. Hey, Jacob, I'll put it to you this way, man. Hey, how old are you, Jacob? If you don't mind telling me. That was 20 minutes ago. You might be gone. But if she broke up with you via text message, you're better off. Okay. It may be hard to stomach, but if she broke up with you via text message, didn't even have the decency to call you, that's probably not someone you want to be spending your time with. I don't know her, not trying to judge her, but 10,000 foot view outside looking in, you should be with somebody better. So good on you, man. Have a good day. Brian, good morning. Cameron, Matt, are you going to do another nightcap? Just got the Whistle Pig piggyback. Early Times, Bottle and Bond, possibly Still Austin. Have you tried any of these? Yes. I like Still Austin a lot. I think their cash strength is really good. Everything from Whistle Pig is really good. I've had piggyback. I've not had Early Times, Bottled and Bond, but the other two are really good. So enjoy, man. It's definitely whiskey season. Abner, good morning. Hey, John Sibley Butler, what's going on? Franklinton lost a tough one in the Dome last night. Yeah, man. We had a shout out. We had a Christmas party last night. So as soon as AFR ended, I jetted over to Decision Critical. Y'all have heard me talk about Decision Critical, great sponsor now on AFR. It's concierge nursing service in Baton Rouge. They had their Christmas party last night, so Eric and I went. And so Blasia Rivette, who's the owner of Decision Critical, we've known her for as long as Drew's been alive. Actually, Eric has known her even longer through dance and stuff like that. But Blasia was a CV nurse at Pediatric Cardiology Associates. So when we came home from the hospital with Drew, Blasia was the nurse that helped care for Drew with all of his CV visits. So, I mean, she's like one of our angels. And so it's so interesting. She left to start her own business, which is Decision Critical. And so she does concierge nursing now. It's just, there are 50 nurses on staff, and they do every type of care you can imagine, from if you need help post-op, if you need help caring for an elderly parent, having nursing help at home when you have a new baby, or end of life care, and literally anything. So anyway, shout out Decision Critical. So they're now our Thursday title sponsor on AFR. But it's interesting. It's a full circle moment though, because like Blasia was such a part of our story with Drew early in his life, and so whenever she has a marketing agency that handles all of her marketing stuff, and they came to me and said, "Would you be interested in endorsing?" I was like, "Absolutely, of course." I mean, for Blasia, whatever. We'll go to the moon, So, shout out Decision Critical, decisioncriticalbr.com. Hey, Jonah called Unique Physique yesterday. Incredibly easy. Thank you, man. Love that. So Unique Physique, one of our great sponsors here. Semaglutide, tirzepatide. It's the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Again, you can do the whole thing over phone. So you can do the whole thing telemed. They'll ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So even if you're outside of Baton Rouge, lowest prices, never any contracts. They're the best. UniquePhysique.com. Trivia, what's up the NC quarterback recruit? That's a good question, Trivia. I haven't heard the latest. I'm curious if that's going to change with Belichick. So the North Carolina quarterback decommitted when Mac Brown was fired. I was told it was LSU and Penn State were the two that were in on him, and I haven't heard anything since, and that's been a week. I'll follow up. Damon, good morning. Yep, Jackson Arnold's going to Auburn. Milton, that's up at Louisiana Sports.net already, by the way. Your boy wrote that story this morning. All right, let me see. Abdulanda Hamza. I think I nailed it. Abdulanda Hamza. Good morning. Would you take Eric Reed or Grant Delpit? Ooh, good question. Would you take Pat P or Derek Stanley? Ooh, good question. Jeremy Hill or Leonard Fournette? Okay. Delpit, Stingley, and Leonard. Probably upsets on all three. There's no wrong answer there, by the way. But I think Grant Delpit was the best safety I'd ever seen at LSU at the time. And injuries derailed him in 19, but he was the best safety. In 2018, he was the best defensive back in the country. Peterson was incredible. But Stingley's the best cornerback I've ever seen at LSU. And then Leonard Fournette is just like people. I think I have long contended Jeremy Hill is the most underappreciated running back at LSU. His 2012 and 2013 were otherworldly, but it was just 2 years. They didn't experience great team success. I mean, Jeremy Hill averaged almost 7 yards a carry in 2013. Like people, like if you have any inkling, go back and watch Jeremy Hill highlights from 2013. I mean, he averaged in 2013, Jeremy Hill averaged 6.9 yards per carry. Dude averaged 7 yards a carry in the SEC. Like I'm telling you, Jeremy Hill's 2013, and I'm not just saying it because he worked with us, it is the most underappreciated, incredible season ever by an LSU running back. Brian Wynn, ask E-Rock, Army or Navy. E-Rock's still sleeping, but someone asked me earlier this week too, said we hadn't done Ask E-Rock in a while. It might have been you, Brian. When she walks in here, I'll see if she wakes up in time. We'll see. Oh, my neck. I need to go see Crystal at Restored Motions. Jesse Brown, my dad was in the Army. Go Army. Got it. Rooney, go this way. Cartel Bo, shalom, shalom. Who dat? Good morning. Good morning. Lance, Drew's channeling his inner T-Bob, letting all the chest show. Oh, I got to get moving here. I'm behind on comments. My bad, y'all. Let's see. Zachary, been out of town, hunting with little service to tune in, which the current ones needs must from the portal. So, you've officially signed tight end Bauer Sharp from Oklahoma. You've officially signed Jakeem Jackson, the cornerback from Florida. They are projected to land Barry and Brown, the receiver from Kentucky, and the center from Virginia Tech. And there's a handful of other players that are visiting or are reported to visit coming up. So you got to go get a defensive end help. That's an absolute must. Got to get a safety, absolute must. And then push the other ones across the finish line. And then it's about see if you can get more impact guys at all those positions. Sorry, just did that one. Jared, just for fun, imagine cost of NIL on the 2019 roster. Oh, buddy. Well, keep in mind, though, man, Jared, like Joe Burrow after 2018 wouldn't have commanded what he would have after 2019, right? I mean, Joe Burrow in 2018 wasn't Joe Burrow. Like all those guys became that in 2019. Like Jamar Chase had flashes in 18 and you could see it was there, but 19 was the kaboom. Same for Justin Jefferson. I mean, who was your leading receiver in 2018, but then he became a first round pick in 2019. And then, the best receiver in the NFL. Clyde became an all SEC running back in 2019. Thoughts on Jake Haener starting tomorrow? I don't like it. But then again, I understand like the Saints are trying to win the game tomorrow. They know they're not going to win it with Spencer Rattler because they have a 3-game sample size. No, he's not ready. I don't think Jake Haener is the guy, but they don't know that yet. So maybe catch lightning in the bottle like the Giants did last year with Tommy Cutlets for a 3-game winning streak. But I would rather continue to get Rattler reps to see if the light switch comes on for a long-term play. Club, what up, my dude? Good is sweet. Daniel, is there another coach who gave $1 million to make his program better? I haven't seen it. Go Army. Yeah, and Daniel, Kelly's now done it twice. He gave $1 million in 2022 also for the athletic training facility that's now built on the back of the football ops. So Kelly's actually given $2 million now to LSU. Bubba Smith, good morning. Carl, want to say I agree with your point about teams not being punished for playing in the conference championship. What about Auburn 2017? They beat Alabama, Georgia, had nothing to gain in the rematch. I'm trying to remember the year. They blend together. So, that's when Auburn went to the SEC championship game and lost. Right? They went and lost to Georgia in the rematch. Yeah, 28-7. So that illustrates my point. Like that illustrates my point though. So Auburn's 10-2. They beat Alabama, beat Georgia, go to the SEC championship game, lose to Georgia. Now again, I'm talking, I think that was a 14 playoff, but now I'm talking they wouldn't at 10-2, they wouldn't have been in a 14 playoff, but in a 12-team playoff. So in that situation, a 12-team playoff, 10-2 Auburn that beat Bama, beat Georgia would be in, right? They go to Atlanta, lose the rematch to Georgia. I'm saying you can't fall out. It's the SMU thing. If you're in before conference championship weekend, losing in conference championship game shouldn't knock you out. That's the point I'm making. And so that would be my point with that Auburn team as well. Let's see, Cartel. Let's see, Matt, with all the shaking up going on with the draft position for the Saints, curious to know what would be your first 3 picks if you were the GM. You mean like first round, second round, third round? I mean, the answer obviously is who's on the board and where am I picking? But if the Saints end up picking, like I think right now, if the draft were today, the Saints would pick 11th. If you're picking 11th, I don't think I'm taking a quarterback at 11, but I'm not ruling out trading up to take a quarterback if they fall in love with a guy that's available. I'll remind you, Patrick Mahomes went 10th. So, I'm probably looking for if there's an elite number 1 receiver, like if McMillan from Arizona is there at 11, I'm totally fine taking him. Olave's future is very much cloudy, and Shaheed's kind of a one-trick pony. He's very good at what he does, but he's a deep threat, and you need that. But if McMillan from Arizona is there at 11, I could totally be good with that. I mean, you need help at every level of your defense. It's pretty clear that you need help on the edge. Chase Young's is a 1-year player. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him. You paid Carl Granderson, but it's very obvious Cam Jordan's at the end, so you need an edge rusher. It's a bummer that you missed on Peyton Turner and but if you can get a Mykel Williams from Georgia at 11, I think that's a good pick as well. I think this is a good test case to see if Alontae Taylor and Kool-Aid McKinstry are ready to be your boundary corners. And obviously you need safety help as well with Tyron Gittin. So literally best player on defense, you need help at every level of your defense. Or a receiver, I think, on offense. Hey, love it. Those guys. I sent out the text about Jakeem Jackson. Good. Glad y'all got it. Here, reporters playing down Ben Johnson's ability to be a head coach. Any idea why some say that? Probably because he hasn't been that before. And so that's always the tricky thing. Can you go from being a lieutenant to the general? And that's always a question for guys that have never been a head coach before. So I don't know, but Sean McVay's done a great job with it as a young guy becoming a head coach. Mike McDaniel at Miami looked like it was going good, but clearly it's not anymore. Part of that, I think, is the injuries. A big part of that has been to his injuries, obviously. But anyway, Look, there's always risk with every coaching hire. The question is, how do you minimize that risk? Hey, Guy, let's see. Is there a way the casual LSU fan can do one-time donations, $50 or $100, rather than a monthly donation? Absolutely. Would it be helpful or a drop in the bucket? So I would say anything helps. And yes, you can do a one-time donation if you go to TAF's website. Actually, I would say go to the Kelly $1 million match link and donate via there, because once it hits $1 million or up to $1 million, that's what the Kellys are going to match. But I can tell y'all candidly, I guess I'll spell, like they have a match, like they've got an anonymous donor that's gonna give $1 million as well. So the anonymous donor will give $1 million, which will unlock Kelly's $1 million, and then everything fans give, they're hoping they get to another $1 million. So it's like you're gonna I did a whole podcast on this last night after AFR. If you go check out my Locked On LSU podcast, basically explaining how all the money and everything in that, if you're interested in it, I did a whole Locked On LSU about it. So check it out on podcast or YouTube. But anyway, yes, your $50, every amount would matter. It is a drop in the bucket, but the crowdfunding nature is something that some programs have done well and LSU hasn't. But the truth is, like, there's a certain degree of scale that you'd have to get to be really impactful. But if you want to give $50 or $100, do it. But I'll never tell anybody what to do with their money. I'm always consistent with that. Like, I'm not sitting here lobbying for LSU fans to give money. I'm not telling you what to do, because I never would. I'm very consistent with this. I don't want anybody telling me what to do with my free time or my disposable income, so I'm not telling you what to do. So you want to give money? Great. You don't want to give money? Great. You want to buy tickets? Cool. You don't? Okay. You buy tickets and don't want to go? Okay. Like, I will never criticize a fan for what you choose to do with your time or money. So you do you. Hey, Ryan, does Brian Kelly's donation of $1 million show desperation or commitment in the process? I think I understand why you asked the question, but realistically, come on. Like, the man's trying to win a national championship. He's trying to do everything he can. And he challenged fans on signing day. And instead of just pounding the table and saying, give money, he's like, all right, fine. Before you point the finger back at me and say, what are you doing? Here you go. There's $1 million of my own money. I mean, you'd have to be in a pretty bad place to spin that to a negative when your coach is donating $1 million of his own money to help your program. Shelby, Matt, you do great dealing with all these negative LSU fans. We're heading in a great direction. Thank you, man. Gulf South, good morning. Let's see. Last weekend you talked about Brecka, so I started looking into it. Watched the Rogan and the CEO podcast. Good stuff. Was curious if you look at genetic tests, and if so, which ones. I did take the genetic test, Gulf South. I took Brecka's genetic methylation test, and I actually did it for Erica and Drew as well. And I'll tell y'all, yesterday I did my lab work, my 6-month blood labs, and I kind of been waiting for this. So when I started the Brecka protocol, all that stuff, I did blood work like 2 weeks after I had started. So it's been a little more than 6 months. It's been about 7 months for me. So everyone's asking about the weight loss and everything. Like, that's what I've been doing. And so I had my lab review yesterday, and they're like, this is perfect. One of the levels, I can't remember which one it was. If it was one of my cholesterol, but she was like, blood sugar, go this way. Check your blood sugars, perfect. Liver enzymes, perfect. Cholesterol, perfect. Like, the only thing is, like, your vitamin D levels are actually high. I mean, I take Gary Brecka's supplements, the methylated supplements, and so she's like, that's the highest I've, like, one, she said it was the best number she had ever seen on one of my things. My vitamin D levels were elevated because I take vitamin. She's like, maybe you scale back and take vitamin D every other day. But she said it may just be that most people are chronically deficient in vitamin D, so we never see a level this high. So I weighed myself this morning. I was 194. Last Christmas, I was 248. So I've lost 50. I don't math. Wait, 194. That's up 6. 48 and 6 is 54. I was supposed to lost 54 pounds. God, I'm so bad at math. So I've lost 54 pounds. My blood work was immaculate. Feel great. So I would say, and hat tip to Gulf South, because the thing that I would recommend anybody is do your own research. I know JD was here last week and he was calling Brecca a hack, and we kind of got into it a little bit. But the thing that I would recommend, like, I don't know how you argue that like the results are what they are. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I did the genetic methylation test. I'm supplementing for deficiency, not just for supplements. I cold plunge every morning. I've gotten my diet right, which is so important. I mean, go listen to Brecca on Rogan or the podcast with Brad Lee, LEA. Good. Those are two long form discussions with Gary Brecca, so you can hear a lot. You can hear him talk about a lot of different stuff and decide if it's something you want to continue to pursue. It's been awesome for me. Caleb, CJ Daniels was in Oxford last night. Okay. I mean, look, I wouldn't put it past Ole Miss to dump a bag on him, but I'm just telling you what I was told from someone associated with LSU's NIL efforts. Let's put it to you that way, which was Daniels, like LSU didn't even have an opportunity to counter. Auburn came in, dropped the number on him. He took it and left. They cleaned out his locker. And it's and one of his former like teammates or best friends or whatever is going to Auburn as well from Liberty. Brian, you have to make sure whatever you do, you have a dominant offensive line next year with your starting quarterback coming back. Tiger Diver, looks like we're adding a few good portal players. Make defense great again. Saw a couple flashes of Kyle Parker. How does he factor in next year? What kind of role will he have? Yeah, that's a good question. We didn't see very much. But Parker passed Shelton Sampson in fall camp when Chris Hilton got hurt. But that's the interesting thing, because Hilton and Parker play the same position. Now you're bringing in Barry and Brown as well. But Hilton, Parker, Barry and Brown, Aaron Anderson, Xavion Thomas. It's a pretty good start, right there. Keem, I'm not sold on Stamps. Okay. I think he made tremendous progress from year 1 to year 2. Now what will it look like year 2 to year 3? The other thing to keep in mind, Keem, is like Zy Alexander was so good that teams picked on Stamps. So it's always going to be that situation, right? What happens next year if, let's say, DJ Pickett ends up starting and they try to pick on the freshman? I mean, that's what happened in 2019 with Stingley. Teams looked away from Christian Fulton and said, "Oh, I'll go pick on the freshman," and they did that to their own detriment, right? Let's see, Matt. Do you like Jackson Dart late in the 4th, possibly 3rd round? I think if you're talking about for the Saints, Cartel, I think the Saints should draft a quarterback every single year. If you're not going to take a quarterback in the 1st round, then I think you need to use a mid-round pick on a quarterback every single year until you hit on your Russell Wilson in round 3, Dak in round 4. After that show, we'll get dressed and go to Daddy's work. Okay? Kirk Cousins, Brock Purdy. Now that's an outlier, but you understand. Like, that's my opinion, is you've got to take one every year until you hit. Go this way. High five. I love you.
What up, Jay?
What up, Jay? Crazy child. Hot mess. Stephen Miller, good morning. If Kelly is saying they'll be aggressive in the portal, no way I see them going to get depth pieces. Got to be day one dudes. Completely agree. And I think that's, Stephen, I know everyone's asked about, have they changed have they pivoted, they changed their approach from building high school, supplement in the portal. Again, I think you're finding a balance. Like last year, Ole Miss is the contrast, right? Ole Miss last year signed trying to get the number of players Ole Miss signed last year in the portal. Here it is. Last year, Ole Miss in the portal signed 26 players, okay? Ole Miss signed 26 guys in the portal. That's the contrast, right? Like LSU signing a 25, 30-man high school class and then like 10 in the portal. Ole Miss is signing 30 in the portal. That's the contrast. And I think what this year showed is that neither team, Ole Miss went 9-3, LSU went 8-4, LSU beat Ole Miss. Neither's in the playoff. So I think the massive amount of turnover Ole Miss is going to have is detrimental. But where LSU missed the mark, well, I agree, go sign 25 guys in the high school ranks and sign 10 portal guys. But the 10 portal guys that you sign have to be like what Steven said. It's got to be immediate day one impact dudes. It can't be bodies. You've got to go get the best tight end in the portal. You've got to go get a 2-year starter at center from Virginia Tech. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to go be immediate impact guys, not JVR Suggs. Respect to JVR Suggs, and he played a really impactful role for you as an interior pass rush guy, but he gave you 8-10 snaps a game. I need someone that's like instead of JVR Suggs or Gio Paez, who, God bless, Gio Paez was a warrior for you this year, but he ain't Walter Nolan. You know, you need to go get Walter Nolan. So I think that's where they're going to find their balance. Jeff, good morning. HD Williams, good morning. Austin, decision to let Cade Phillips walk worked out. You were able to keep $800,000 and you got instead a third-year player. Let's see. How do the number of portal players leaving LSU could play with numbers from other teams? Same. I even did this. I even did this earlier this week. So even the guy, like, because nobody is immune. Oh, I'm gonna throw it away. Here it is. So teams in the college football playoff, right? Teams that are getting ready for a college football playoff. Arizona State's got 11 players in the portal. But then this was Wednesday, so they may even have more by now. Arizona State 11, Tennessee, Indiana 8, Boise, Texas have 7. Ohio State has 5. Clemson, Notre Dame, Penn State, Georgia with 3, SMU with 2, and actually Georgia's up to 4 now, at least. But even teams in the playoff have guys in the portal. It's just the nature of it because of how the calendar works. Shelby, Matt is literally the only person covering LSU that's not in full panic mode. I'm glad he recognizes we're heading in the right direction. I'm just willing to be patient, Shelby. Like that, and I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm just willing to say, okay, like I understand you've got money to spend and you're being aggressive in the portal. So let me see what it looks like after a month. If when this month ends, you haven't gone and gotten immediate impact starters in the portal, then I'll sing a very different tune. But let me see how it goes. You have money to spend. You clearly have interest from a lot of the top guys in the portal. Can you get them? Let's see. Carl the Cat, congratulations on the website. Helps that it's no paywall. Great work. Thank you, man. Yeah, LouisianaSports.net. Carl, I'll tell you, that was my caveat from the beginning was, and as I'm telling you, and that's true with LouisianaSports.net, and that's true with all of our ESPN content as well, because there have been times where, like, executive has discussed, do we look at putting our podcast behind a paywall? you're moving our stuff off of YouTube and putting it, into a subscription model. And I said, like, I have fought against that vehemently. We had one consultant come in one time and was trying to pitch me on the model the New York Times has used, how they've actually been one of the traditional media that has successfully transitioned to a subscription model. And I was like, that's fine. The New York Times operates at a scale different than us. They can make that work. We can't. Like, no. Like, I will never, ever, ever. As long as I have a say, we will never, ever, ever go to a subscription model. Again, I'm not saying it'll never happen, but it'll never happen as long as I'm involved. Like, I just fundamentally don't agree with siphoning off your audience, because there are always going to your habits. There are always people who are just, they're going to run into a paywall and immediately divert. And I'm never going to shield people who want to consume our content with a paywall. Anybody in the world who wants to read our stuff, watch or listen, you do it for free. And if we're doing our job, then we should be able to create enough loyalty with our brand, with our content, with our shows, to where we'll have businesses that want to spend to advertise, and then we'll have people who are loyal to us that want to help us by supporting our advertisers. That's an ad-based model when it's done right, and that's how I always want to do it. So, anyway. Aaron, good morning. Pinche Nano, BK is our best chance for a natty. He's a great coach, man. He's built a staff. He's getting the roster in place. I still think they'll get there. Who dat? Let's see. Arkansas is the minor league farm for Ole Miss and other SEC schools. Where are we? ATX, morning, Matt. I was told NFL models coming to college football, where the portal is replaced with waivers and kids sign contract. Is that likely, and how soon? The tricky part about that is, ATX, we've seen student athletes try to unionize in the past and be viewed as employees, and they lose. That gets shut down in court every time. As long as the athletic departments or the football programs are still associated with university athletic departments, it's hard for me to imagine that day ever coming. I'm not saying it won't. It's just going to have to fundamentally change how things are structured. Hey, Rick, we got off the sidelines, donated money for an LSU national championship. Looking forward to seeing the additions and awesome Tiger Christmas. Let's go. Let's see. To be fair, Kelly's the only normal coach we've had. I got it. Austin, yours was a joke. The first one was not. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Jacob, morning, Matt. 3 weeks post Achilles tear and surgery. Ooh, your show brightens my day every morning. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for being there, Jacob. Cheers to you, man. Good luck on the recovery. My goodness. That is, the Achilles injury is one that just terrifies me, man. It just, it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. Gulf South, I don't dislike BK. I dislike the hype. He's been a head coach for 35 years. Of course, he's highly accomplished. He was all supposed to right the ship, win titles. He's regressed each season so far. I don't know that you could say that, Gulf South, that he's regressed each season. I disagree with that. I think throughout the course of the seasons, his first 2 years, the teams got better as the season went along. I think it's also, I think you would agree with this, because I think this is objectively true, is that I think every coach is trying to figure out the best path to build a roster and to win in this new landscape. Like, pre-NIL, Jakeem Stewart is absolutely an LSU Tiger. From New Orleans, recruited by Frank Wilson. Frank helped him reclassify, wanted to go to LSU, all that stuff. In a different era, that kid's an LSU Tiger. You're just managing different factors now. There's just different variables. Let's see. Who do you want winning the Heisman? Travis Hunter's going to win it. And if I had a vote, I'm sure I would have. I haven't looked at it too deeply, but I probably would have voted Travis Hunter. Hunter, Dillon, Gabriel, I think would have been my 1 and 2. I'd have to give it some thought on who my third would be. I would not vote for Ashton Genty. I just don't respect the numbers of a guy who carries 40 times a game in a G5 league. I think if Caden Durham was a running back at Boise State and they gave him 40 touches a game, he'd have the same numbers. And ask yourself this: would Ashton Genty have had those statistics playing in the SEC? Come on. It's no different to me than looking at like those Hawaii quarterbacks that threw for 5,000 yards. I mean, you're playing lesser competition. You're throwing it 60 times a game. Of course, you're going to have impressive numbers. Chance, what happened to Jeremy Hill? Do you think he'll get back into radio? Jeremy left. It was his decision. I don't know that. I'm telling you, like, day-to-day radio is a grind. I mean, I love what I do. I'm not saying anything, but a lot of people think, oh, that would be fun. I'd love that. But you're on a deadline every single day. Like, every single day you're on air and have to be ready to prep and go. And, like, it's just not for everybody. I know he left and wanted to go play again. And so I think he had a tryout for the XFL. Might have been drafted in the XFL. I don't remember. But I saw Jeremy in Vegas before the USC game. Looked great. And but I'm not sure what he's doing, quite honestly, right now. Leslie Martin, have you heard of other coaches donating that much money to the programs? I haven't heard of any coaches donating any money to their programs. Certainly not $1 million. Murder Giraffe, does Hurley seem like a guy that would stick around and wait his turn? Good question. Don't know. What I will tell you is, ear to ground, talking to people around the program, Colin Hurley has a long way to go. I know there's a lot of people who have wondered, when we talk about transfers and quarterbacks, people, why are you discounting Hurley? I'm not discounting Colin Hurley. I'm just telling you, like, that's a guy that showed up on campus at 16 years old. He ain't ready, not even close to being ready. It's why part of me doesn't understand the reclassifying. Like, why not get another year of physical, emotional development? But anyway, it's not to say Colin Hurley won't be ready eventually, but he's nowhere near ready right now. How did the 2013 team lose 3 games, all that talent? The defense stunk. Sound familiar? Cliff Nelson, ask E-Rock, if the Marines had a football team, would you cheer for that team? Tim, good morning. William, good morning. I know you have a whole lot on your plate. I do miss the Nightcap series. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, man, very candidly, I do Locked on LSU now in the evenings. So, like, we put Drew to bed about 9:00 is when I crank up getting ready on with Locked on LSU to publish for the next morning. And sometimes I do a bonus episode at night that I publish at night, and then the regular episode in the morning. So yeah, Nightcap is just one of those casualties, man. What's up, Christian? Good morning, man. I got to reply to your text. Thank you. Drew's feeling better, man. Much better, dude. He's very much back to normal. So went through it a little bit, but he's doing good. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Hope you're doing good. I'm going to toot my own horn. I said we'd be 8-4. Is it true the kid from Florida wanted $45K a month plus other demands? So I saw that. So there's let me see if I can find the tweet. His name's Jack Pyburn. Oh, wow. Interesting. Yay. So someone put out that Pyburn wanted X amount of money a month, basically yay. So I just saw this. Jack Pyburn he put on his Instagram story with a picture of a private plane, by the way. I wanted to be the guaranteed starter when I'm already the starter. Makes sense. SMH. Interesting. Here it is. So this was from Gators season. Okay, Zach Abelverdi is the one who reported this. I know Zach. $45K a month, guaranteed starter at outside linebacker, guaranteed to play on third downs and more snaps in the rotation. Now, I do think there are guys who, that was running back from Ole Miss who went to Ohio State. Judkins wanted conversations I had with people who cover Ole Miss and are familiar with their collective and the goings on told me, people I trust, that Judkins wanted 7 figures and that he wanted guarantees for number of touches a game. Which they weren't going to do. Hey, Ryan, little late getting here. Any word on Jacoby Matthews? Nope, nothing new. Go Tigers. More wealthy people need to endorse prior traditions. People like Gordon and others need to endorse it on their social media. Matt, I've heard the Saints could be interested in Oregon's head coach. Any thoughts? It'd be interesting if Dan Lanning wanted to jump to the NFL. A little leery just because we don't typically see college coaches going to the NFL have tons of success. It's not that it can't happen. I mean, Jimmy Johnson won a national championship, won a Super Bowl, and we've seen it happen. But I think there's more Bobby Petrinos and Nick Saban than the other, Zachary Moe, on your radio show, do you say the day of the week instead of today so when people listen back, they know what day it is? Yes. Very astute. And that's something that's changed, man. So, like, when Brian Kelly does does his Monday press conference, when I'm doing a segment, I'll say, Brian Kelly met with reporters Monday out at LSU. And the show is on Monday. Like on my show Monday, just hours after that press conference, I'll say Brian Kelly met with reporters on Monday because so many people listen and watch on demand. YouTube, podcast, everything. So you never want to identify relative to time. You never want to say today because what if somebody's listening a week from now? Well, it's not today. It was a week ago. But yes. Stop asking for tips at the concession stand and ask by your traditions donations. Tons of football to discuss during baseball's preseason. Not baseball preseason yet, but I did have Milam and Larson in studio this week. Steven, that's an excellent strategy. For Go Tigers with the tips. Ben, caught up on this week's Locked On. Good stuff on the portal. Do you think that winning the portal will be more important than winning the high school recruiting battle going forward? No, Ben, because I do think you still have to build your roster from the bottom up. I don't think going the Ole Miss route where you're going to sign 25, 30, 25 to 30 portal players every year is sustainable because you're going to be turning over more than half your roster every year. I think you need to build through the high school ranks, but I think it's the caliber of portal guy you get that's different, Matt, I understand you or media not lobbying or asking fans to donate. I do ever think it would be beneficial for y'all to raise awareness. Now, make defense great again. I led my show with Brian Kelly's $1 million match program. We posted on all of ESPN's social media. Like, I'm talking about it here. But it's not my job to be a shill for the university. I'm not going to be. My job is to give honest commentary. But I have used our megaphones to raise awareness for it. Right? So it's a delicate balance, man. Like Matt, the LSU alum, Matt, the lifelong LSU fan, of course, wants LSU to win and wants to do everything. Like the other part of it too, though, is Matt, the radio host, does way better when LSU's good. So of course I want him to do well. But I'm also not. But when you become a shill for the team you cover, that's when you lose your credibility. And I care way more about people listening to my show knowing that whether they agree or disagree with me, they're getting an objective point of view than I do about pushing people to go donate. But I mean, I don't know what else to do other than, I've talked about the $1 million match thing Kelly put out on every platform I've been on. Mark, I wish my wife had Matt's attitude on not telling me what to do with my money. Corey, Chris, any updates on GMEX and the On Fire Athletes platform to have a marketing plan in place? Maybe they should advertise on the Locked On Network. I'll mention that to David. You know what I need to do? I need to start adding On Fire to the link on Facebook every single day. So yeah, so if y'all remember 3 years ago, GameCoin launched. It's been a long process. The platform is launched now. It's called On Fire Athletes. The long story short is because of the SEC, they couldn't launch the platform with the name of a cryptocurrency. So that's why it had moved to Game Changers from GameCoin, if you remember. But then there's already an existing platform called Game Changers that wanted royalties and all that sort of stuff. So it was just easier to create a new name, which is On Fire Athletes. So the platform is launched. If you own Gamecoin, or even if you just have, like, my biggest recommendation to anyone is show it to a young person in your life, a son, a daughter, a niece, a nephew, grandson, granddaughter. Show them On Fire Athletes to ask them if they think it's cool, because they can go create their own trading cards. So like if your son plays baseball, your daughter plays volleyball, they can go create their own digital sports card with their photo. They can put their own video with an augmented reality component to it. It's incredible. Tell them to go check it out. Like, that's the best thing you do. As far as marketing plan, yes, it's being implemented. What was your testosterone levels, bro? 617. I don't mind telling you that. Hey, babe, they want to do Ask E-Rock. Yeah, they do. I'm dead serious. Like, people are like, we haven't done Ask E-Rock in a while. People were asking questions. Okay. Let's go. People that buy those 120,000 red light beds or 5,000 PEMF mats are in a different tax bracket than I am. So thank you, Gulf South. But that's what I've done. Like, I don't have a $10,000 cold plunge tub. I didn't buy the mat. I don't have the red light therapy bed. But seriously, like, I supplement with vitamin D. I've done grounding. So I'll just go, like, we have like a ledge outside where I'll just, like, by our fire pit, I'll sit on the ledge and turn my back with my bare feet in the ground, and I cold plunge every morning. And I didn't buy a cold plunge tub. I did cold showers for a long time until I was like, all right, am I really going to do this? And then I bought a Nuvio chiller, NUVIO. It's like $400 or $500. But I use it every single day. So I fill up the bathtub at night. I turn on the chiller, and it chills about 3 degrees an hour. So while I sleep, it chills down into the 50s. And so then I wake up in the morning, and I cold plunge. Let's see. How significant is it for us for Kelly to donate this $1 million into NIL? We're up to 16 players hitting the portal. Did he lose the team? No, he didn't lose the team. I think it's important to remember, again, every single team is losing guys to the portal. I just went through the list of playoff teams that have, I mean, Arizona State's got double-digit guys in the portal. They're about to play in the playoff. It's just the nature of it because of the calendar. So, you know, if the portal opens now, like, let's say you're on Georgia's team, and you're thinking about going to the portal. Well, if you wait to the end of the playoff, the portal window will be closed. So you've missed your window. So you got to do it now. And even if you say, well, what if they lose in the first round? Well, fine. Well, you wait. Well, what if you're at a position that it's like a game of musical chairs, man? There's only so many spots on rosters. So if there's a team that needs a defensive end and you wait to go in the portal, by the time you go in the portal, does that team still need a defensive end? Your options are limited. So everybody has guys. Robert Brantley, sounds like some rich people aren't behind BK. Do you think that's an issue? No, I think some people just decide what they want to do with their money. What up, John? Good to see you, man. Saw John and his bride over at Don Juan for the last home game of the year. Congrats on losing 54 pounds. LSU need a punter out of the portal. It's a good question. They were really bad there this year, weren't they? Yeah. The best things in life are free, but championships aren't. Lance, I refuse to pay a sub for any site. There are too many free sources out there. Oh, that's what you're talking about. With the best things in life are free. We're for the website. Thank you. I'm with you, Lance. Like, that's my contention as well. There's too much good stuff for free that I don't pay for subscriptions for content. Blaine Smith needs safety and guard. You need defensive end as well. Joe, good morning. Want to say hi. Thank you for covering Louisiana sports. I don't follow anyone else, even though my comments are often bad. All good, Joe. Thank you for being there. Kelly, I did Gary's genetic test earlier this year or last to take the supplements. MTHFR was red. Haven't done any testing since. Got back in the gym, eating tons of protein, lots of water. Feel so much better. Had no idea water intake recommendations increased recently. I noticed your weight loss this season on whiskey and wine. Keep it up. We aren't getting any younger. I've known Kelly since Kelly and her sister both worked at Callaway's when I worked out there. And Kelly, that was when you and Leslie were there, and I think I was at LSU. I think that was like 2000, 2001. Does that sound about right? It's been a long time. But yeah, so when I did my methylation test, the genetic methylation test, like I think three of mine came back with some abnormality. So the supplements that I was recommended to take, the protocol that I was recommended to take are the Optimize, which is the multi, magnesium, zinc, TMG, and then I also supplement with vitamin D because we don't get enough vitamin D because none of us go outside anymore. We spend 85% of our lives indoors. Blaine, maybe there could be some kind of prize gift depending on the size of the NIL donation. There is that, Blaine. By the way, if you go, so Blaine, like go look at the Bayou Traditions website. Like there are those things where you can get autographs and meet and greets and all different types of stuff. I mean, that's part of the deliverables for the players with the meet and greet. You know what? I just remembered I haven't done this yet, so let me do this for Thomas before I forget.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. Do business with someone you know. Remember all of our great sponsors linked in the description on YouTube and tagged on Facebook. Erica is coming, so please fire away with your please fire away with your Ask E-Rocks. Please fire away with your Ask E-Rocks. 300 watching. Please smash the like button if you haven't done so. Here we go for Ask E-Rock. Kelly wrote a novel. Shelby, that had to stand up to read that message. All right. We've got Ask E-Rocks. Well, you're not here anymore. Fire away questions for Erica. Ask E-Rock. Let's go. Jordan asks, is Damian Ramos returning? He has more eligibility. Yes, got another year, so I would assume he will. Fire away. Ask E-Rock. Get him in. You're not even close.
You have to see my pajamas, right? See, Matt? Oh my God, you're turning up thing now. Thank you. Okay.
You can get closer. Erica, you can get
You
closer.
made fun of my pajamas last night.
Well, they were ridiculous.
They're not ridiculous. They're not.
They're
black pajamas with
Oh, it's the gingerbread man.
yeah.
Not my gumdrop butt.
Some gingerbread men on them. These are so cute.
Do you know the Muppet Man? Scoot closer. You're not in. You're not. Look, you can see where you come in. See, you're not in yet.
I'm right there.
Well, you just raise your arm.
I know. Okay, I'm seeing how much room I have.
I'll turn the volume up a little more.
Okay.
All right. Erica's here.
Morning.
Oh, you know what I can do? I can change it to the. I haven't done this in a lot. The ASCII Rock brand.
No one wants to ask
No,
me.
no, I can't do that. Never mind. Because it gets rid of our.
Oh yeah. It's fine.
There we go. It gets rid of all of our morning scan background stuff. Okay. All right, here we go. I gotta find my spot. Hang on.
Blower.
All right, here we go. Cliff Nelson.
Good morning, Cliff.
Blue. I think his backpack's probably. I asked E-Rock. Flashback follow-up. We never got to the bottom of the pilgrims coming over on the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria.
Oh, Lord. They got here, I think. I don't know. I don't know about history and social studies. What's the bottom of it? What do they want to know?
I don't know.
Cliff, you need to be a little more specific. I'm not good at social studies things.
Cliff Nelson asked E-Rock, can we get lemon cookies for the bowl game?
Yes.
Somebody slacked big time
I did.
on the cookies this year. I mean, we were
First
going
of
good.
all-
You know
first
what?
of
I think the lack of cookies coincided with the 3-game losing streak.
First of all, you have
Erica
to have
makes
lemon.
cookies.
You have to have lemon cake mix to make the cookies. I have searched. There's been a shortage of lemon cake mix. I bought that other stuff and it was horrible.
That's blue.
That is a boa. You want
That's
to take off your backpack?
blue.
We missed a button here.
That's blue.
We definitely missed a button. What are you watching on the iPad?
Mommy's phone.
He's watching my phone videos of Dennis using the blower.
A blue.
Okay.
Whose blower is that?
We definitely missed a button. Look.
Using a blue.
Who's using a blower?
Yeah.
You okay?
Okay. Here we go.
No, but there's been a shortage of lemon cake mix for some reason in the world, and you have to have that to make the lemon cookies. I bought lemon pound cake mix, and they were terrible. I threw them away.
Thomas asked E-Rock, Jinglegate or Taylor Swift? Jinglegate would be the Paris Construction and Roofing jingle.
Taylor Swift, 100 by 100.
Taylor Swift don't make us no money.
I mean, that's not what he asked.
Lando Calrisk CN asked E-Rock, do you allow Matt to chill in the tiger cave with no retribution? I get in trouble sometimes with my wife.
Oh my God. Okay. That is like probably the funniest question anyone could ever ask me. Matt getting in trouble with me, like that doesn't exist. Like the day I try to get upset with you about anything, it doesn't happen in our house, by the way. No, I don't. Matt can do whatever he wants. Matt works very hard. Matt provides everything for us. Matt doesn't ever get in trouble. Have you ever been in trouble, Matt? I'm so sure. Like people who say that, you think that's hilarious because obviously their wives have a lot more power than I do.
It's not about power.
Yeah, it is. So many men are like, oh, I'm in trouble with my wife.
shouldn't be.
Have you ever in a million years thought that? No, because you know that wouldn't happen with us. You would be like,
it shouldn't be like power in a marriage. Like that's like there should be a union, and it's not about that. But like nobody should tell anybody what to do.
if I ever tried to say you, no, the answer is no, sir. I'm sorry. That doesn't happen here.
Let's see. Shelby, Army Navy game prediction. Come on, Erica. Who you got? Army or Navy?
Ooh.
Who you got?
Well, Papa was in the Navy. But Army it seems a little tougher to me.
Army seems tougher.
If I had to pick a guy to like save me in the middle of the woods, I'd probably pick an Army guy. Just saying.
Well, Navy's on water.
Okay, well then I'd definitely pick an Army guy.
Okay. What if you're in the water?
I'm going for the Navy.
Got it. Okay. Trivia Carter.
Good morning, trivia.
Ask E-Rock. Thoughts on Christmas fruitcake?
Oh, that's disgusting. Why is it so like dark and gooey? It's like it looks like somebody poured that like shellac over it. You know, like if you do those art projects where you pour that like liquid stuff, up in the cracks to make it stick together. That's what the stuff looks like on the top of a fruitcake. And it looks like it's been there for 10 years. It's so gross. They have like chocolate covered fruitcake bites at Alexander's, like somebody makes. And I'm like, it looks appealing because of the little chocolatey bites. But then, when you bite into it, it's going to be that gooey yuck. No, actually, I've never had fruitcake, so I don't know if it's good or not. But it looks disgusting. It looks absolutely disgusting.
Cordell, Matt, can I send you gear from my website? Absolutely. Send it on. Send it to Guarantee, care of Matt Moscona, or Matt Moscona, care of Guarantee Media, 929 Government Street, Baton Rouge, 70802. Would love to, man. Thank you. Rick, ask E-Rock, what's on your Christmas list? I need ideas for my wife.
Oh, love this. Well, I like to shop. So one of my big items is just let me go shopping. Money. Another item is Chloe perfume. If you have never smelled Chloe, there was a doctor now almost 11 years ago in Houston named Dr. Bastera. She was this beautiful, like exotic.
She's Brazilian
woman.
Beautiful Brazilian woman that was a pediatric cardiovascular surgeon.
Her name is Dr. Bastera.
Was she a surgeon? Was she?
No, she wasn't a surgeon. She was just a cardiologist.
Pediatric cardiologist.
And one day,
talk about got things working for you. Beautiful woman and a pediatric cardiologist.
Yeah. So one day we were in the CVICU and we're trying to discuss Christmas. And we're trying to discuss like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? And of course, I don't want anything for Christmas. I want Drew to be healthy. I want Drew to come home, all this stuff. But ultimately, we needed to get each other Christmas gifts. So I think I needed perfume. And I was talking to some of the CVICU nurses. And they were like, oh, have you ever smelled Dr. Bastera? And I'm like, no, what do you mean? And they were like, she has this scent, this fragrance. She smells so good. And one of the nurses was like, I have a sample of the fragrance she uses. It's called Chloe. I'm going to bring it for you tomorrow. You become very friendly and very close to your nurses when you're living in a hospital, right? So sweet nurses. I got a funny story about that too. I would buy them treats every day. I would give my nurse a treat every day. Remember that time? I accidentally. I'll tell that story later.
What did you do?
I put my stuff I needed at the gift shop in the nurse's treat bag.
So you gave him like a deodorant.
And I ended up with the gummies and the little chocolate.
Candy, yeah. The nurse got like deodorant.
And I was like, how insulting. I was so embarrassed. No, it's just deodorant. So it was like, Doug, you stink. Anyway, so okay, back to the Dr. Bastera. So the next day, the nurse brings me a little sample of Chloe and I smelled it. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. And then I think Dr. Bastera was on the next day too or something. So she comes by and I'm like, oh my God, this fragrance, this is what I want. So now 11 years ago, I have worn, I've worn the fragrance Chloe every day of my life. I love it. And then not long after Christmas, Gorgeous Way, we're still in the CVI, we're still in the hospital, but we were moved out of the CVICU at this point. We were in like the regular part of the NICU, not the cardiovascular part. So it wasn't Dr. Bastera's area. So Matt and I are in the elevator, just packed. There's like, you can't even fit another person on there. So we get on the elevator and then a group of people get on, I think. And all of a sudden, Matt and I looked at each other and we're like, Dr. Bastera's on this elevator? Because we smelled her because it was so freaking good. So, sir, you need to go find some Chloe. If your wife likes perfume or if she doesn't like perfume, get her original Chloe, not the rose Chloe, not plain old original Chloe. You're going to have to go to like Sephora. Ulta has it or no?
This thing called the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Got so much stuff on it. Like you could just search the internet.
Yeah, but if you go to one of those stores, you'll get a
thing called the internet. You could probably find it there.
Anyway, very long story to say Chloe. So I need some more Chloe. Bath bombs from Lush. If anyone, bath bombs from Lush are not your typical bath bomb. So guys, go to Lush or go to lush.com or whatever. Get your wife bath bombs from there. They are the SEX bomb, I don't know if I can say that word out loud, is by far the best. It's purple and pink. It has rose petals in the middle of it. The fragrance of a bath bomb, like if you buy these things, your car is going to radiate that fragrance just for having the bag of 4 bombs in your car. Now they're pricey, but they're worth the bath experience. I love to bathe. I love to shop. If she likes to get her nails done, nail gift cards are always good. I love jewelry. Kendra Scott. First of all, Kendra Scott is the place to go for jewelry. You can get amazing, beautiful pieces for under $80. Go get her some gorgeous earrings.
You know what else is awesome? Lee Michaels fine jewelry.
And that too, but that's expensive. Gorgeous Way. So, is it? Because I've never got anything from Lee Michaels.
Way.
Kendra Scott.
Gorgeous
Way. Thank you. Everybody, whoever sits in here has to say it for him, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that might be enough Christmas gift ideas, but that's me.
Thank God. Trivia. What's the max amount of gift to get for a kid for Christmas?
Like to spend? On our nieces and nephews, we spend about between like, you hate to give like a price limit or a price because like sometimes you might go a little over, sometimes you might go a little under. So we usually do between like 75 and 100 on our nieces and nephews. We have a lot of them.
Abner Neal asked you, Rock, what do you want for Christmas? We just went through that.
Yeah, we went through that, Abner.
Trivia asked you, Rock, what sounds better? Barbecue and seafood for Christmas? I guess barbecue or seafood for Christmas. Which sounds better?
I'm never going to go with barbecue, sir.
She doesn't eat anything on a bone.
I don't like bones.
Bone. Chicken. What about chicken on a bone, Erica?
No. A chicken wing on a bone.
Chicken wing on a bone?
When people put that thing in their mouth and they pull it out and there's nothing on it, I want to vomit. It's disgusting. I would pick chicken off a bone, but still it's gross because then it's getting all up on your fingers. It's gross. Just don't buy the bone. Or just don't eat. I don't eat chicken. Really.
Tiger Diver asked Rock, favorite Christmas movie?
Well, there's one movie we have yet to watch that we might watch tonight.
No, I'm not watching it.
Matt.
She wants me to watch a Hallmark movie with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm like, that's
all I wanted for Christmas, I told you.
She recorded this movie thinking like, oh, I'll save this and watch it.
No, wait, let me tell them the story.
In what world do you think I would want to sit down and watch a Hallmark Christmas movie?
First of all, there is a Hallmark Christmas movie based off of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, who I am obsessed with and in love with, okay? First of all, that's what your life loves. Your wife loves it, okay? Do you think I love football, Matt? Do you think I love it? How much football do I watch with you? How much do I watch? Okay, go this way.
Go this way.
So one night, the premiere of it was Saturday. It was the night I went to go this way. It was the night my mantle ornament came crashing down. What night was that? What game was that? The last Oklahoma. Go this way. Oklahoma game was the premiere of, it's like Touchdown Christmas or Christmas Touchdown. I don't even know the title of it. Hallmark movie about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. It's a football movie, Matt. It's a football movie. There's in the Chiefs Stadium. They're in Chiefs Kingdom, Red Nation. So I record it because I'm like, watch. Obviously I wasn't home that night. We were with me and Drew went to Keith and Danes for the game. So then I get home and Matt's doing whiskey and wine. So I'm like, ooh, I want to watch it. And I'm like, no, I need in my head. I'm like, I don't need to watch it. I need to wait for Matt so he can watch it with me. I don't know why in my head I thought that was what I should do.
Because I watch so many movies.
I know. And Hallmark you hate. So then the next morning, Matt was like, oh, when I was getting in the shower really late last night after I did my podcast, Hallmark movie channel was on in the bathroom. So that's what I watched when I could take a bath. And he was like, there's some movie with Travis. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, don't tell me I didn't watch it last night because I recorded it because I thought you would want to watch. And as I say it out loud, I'm like, well, I don't know why I would think you would want to watch it. And then you're like, I'm not watching that. Elf, though, to answer your question, I can't get enough of Elf.
Shelby asked Rock, favorite Christmas time dessert to bake?
Oh, did you make a poop?
Poop.
Who made a poot?
Drew make a poop.
Drew make a poop. Who said that?
Drew.
No, but who was saying that last night?
Drew.
I think. Did Miss Page say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He keeps telling me that. Now that's what he associates with her. Go this way. To bake.
Go this
way.
I like to make things. So I don't really like to bake things. So I don't know. I'm gonna do I'm in charge of the dessert platter tonight for garage party. Go this way. So I like to do a chocolate chip cheesecake dip with like what I'm doing tonight, for example, for our little small immediate family, my sisters and their families. My parents, we're having a garage party. I'll explain that later. For the garage party, I'm going to do a dessert platter. So I'm going to have the chocolate chip cheesecake dip with chocolate and vanilla animal crackers. Then I'm going to have my caramel apple Heath dip with some sliced up apples.
If you need these recipes, just ask. We'll get them to you.
And then
let's keep it moving. Ask Rock, Gulf South.
That's not what I'm.
You have 1,000 grapes. You get $50,000.
I can't do math.
It's okay. You get $50,000 for each one you eat, but one of them is poison and will kill you. How many will you eat?
How many do I have? 50,000.
You get $50,000 for every.
No, okay.
Grape
How many grapes do I have?
There's 1,000 grapes on it. So he said, like, if you eat 20 grapes, that's $1 million.
I need probably 900.
What if one of the 900 is?
What if it's not?
Yeah.
Again, it's like the lottery. I've never won the lottery, so I don't think I'd win the grape poison lottery either.
Okay.
How about that?
Cliff asked Rock, can she get Tay Tay to sing the parish jingle?
That would be lovely. I would then pick the Parish Jingle if it was sung by her.
Matt definitely gets punished by hashtag Ask E-Rock, but I like the PSA and teamwork.
But he doesn't. That's the funniest thing ever. Like if people honestly ask any of our friends or family, ask my sisters or my best friend, if Matt gets in trouble, that doesn't happen.
Good one.
Go this way.
Thank you, whoever said that.
Go this
Rob
way.
Boudreaux.
Go this way.
This is kind of like the Griswolds of BR. I love it. Shelby says, I was a Navy chief, 23 years. Good pick.
Good. So you'd save me in the water?
He'd save you in the water.
Good.
Kelly said, unless you have a Navy SEAL, go Navy. That's
true. Those people are like bad A, huh?
Yeah. The Navy SEAls are the ones that killed
Osama. Yeah. Look at me know some history.
Cliff asked E-Rock, would you pick a Marine to save her in the war?
Yes, 100%. Marine, I'm sorry, Army. I'm sorry, Navy. I'm going for the Marine. And they're typically hotter, just to let you know.
Cliff asked E-Rock, what about moist fruitcake with horseradish on the side?
Cliff, that's just nasty. I think, you know what I'm going to buy for the dessert board tonight? I'm going to get an ugly fruitcake and just put it on there and see what people do. I want to taste it. Does it have fruit in it? Really? Like real fruit?
I don't know that I've ever eaten a fruitcake.
We haven't. Maybe I'll get the chocolate fruitcake squares and tell people they're like chocolate caramel and have them bite it and be disgusting.
Miracle Martinez asked E-Rock,
Wait, that's a great name. Who is this?
Miracle Martinez.
Oh, I love your name.
What college team would you cheer for outside the state of Louisiana?
College? Notre Dame, because I love Mike Denbrock. Shout out, Denbrock family, love you. And he's the coach of Notre Dame, Denbrock's.
Shirley Carter asked E-Rock, best Christmas alcohol drink?
I love a champagne. I love anything with fizzy and bubbles. So I like any type of there's a ton of different champagne cocktail drinks. So I'm going with that.
Trivia said, will you ever send me some of your world famous lemon cookies?
Trivia. Did I not do that? No, it's a Hershey bar. Jesus, trivia. Me. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yes, when I bake some for the national championship game, you'll get some then.
Would you ever let Matt give $1 million to Taft if he was making $10 million a year?
Let Matt. Here we go again. Everyone, Matt does what he wants. Do y'all not understand this? Do they not see you every day from 3 to 6 and know your personality? You're the most giving human being. You do everything for me and Drew. You provide it all, but you do what you want, period. There's no question there. So yes, Matt can give whatever he wants to whoever he wants. And Matt makes the money. I don't. I work for fun. I work for love. I work for love.
Gilmore, I've never seen Erica before. Is it AI?
RIKA. Oh.
AI.
No, but I love me some AI. Let me just tell y'all, that is the coolest shiz ever. I know I stopped it. That is the coolest ever. You know what I do for AI? Even for everything now, like Christmas card. I went to it to help me write not our Christmas card. That just says Merry Christmas. This supposed to be coming in today. Can't wait. AI is phenomenal. I love it.
Trivia Carter, how many total gifts for a kid? Not a cost.
Well,
I think you do a cost. Because even when we were kids, I think my parents had an amount to spend on the kids. And so then it was if there was one big thing, you wanted one big thing.
Yeah. I mean, for Drew, again, who makes me, this will get me sad, but he doesn't know or care about Christmas. And I love Christmas. Go this way. I love the magic of it. I love all the stuff about it. And so for me, I have a problem where I think I don't have enough. I never think I have enough for everybody, it just that's hard for me to be well, let me just they need one more thing. I think Ryan struggles with this too. I've heard him say, I always think I need to have more, do more, give more. And so I don't know about a number. It's hard to put a number on it too.
Shelby said, come on, Matt, you have to watch the Taylor Swift Christmas song thingy, bruh. LOL, enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Dave says, Cordell, Matt needs an intro. That's a good idea.
Who?
So there's a guy, Cordell Music, is his screen in there saying he should make me an intro.
Yeah.
Daniel, let's not forget Greg Brooks. Well said. Brooks and the whole Brooks family for sure. Rick, who you helped with the gift, said, you rock, E-Rock.
Oh, Rick,
bought it for her for Christmas to go with her new Fitbit and Michael Kors purse.
You just bought it?
Barely.
Okay, and you got a Michael Kors purse and you're asking me for advice? That's phenomenal. We accidentally got a Michael Kors purse sent to us, a $400 one, a huge bag. And I, unfortunately, out of the goodness of my heart, contacted the person across the street that we don't know, and it's his bag. But it's a very nice bag he got for his wife, by the way.
I said she just kept it.
No, that's so wrong, Matt. You can't do that.
It was our address.
It was his name and his phone number. They actually, on the label, I've never seen this, on the label underneath his name was his phone number. I mean, all I had to do was text the guy, and I texted him or called him, and he called me back.
Thomas retired from the Army for 33 years.
Go, Thomas.
Good Thomas. Good Tom. Trivia said thank you for a Marine.
Yeah, that's right, trivia.
Rob, maybe was wrong, but I think Marines are a division of the Navy. They are, but then Marines will say the Navy. They just hitch a ride with the Navy. They're not actually. That's what they'll say. Gulf South, a Marine is someone who wanted to be in the Navy but couldn't swim.
Why are they so mean to each other? Y'all are all amazing individuals who give your life for us, for freedom.
Trivia said, Matt, give me a number. Number to spend on your kids? I don't know. Like we have one. So we don't have multiple kids that we're buying for. We just buy for Drew.
And I buy a lot because I hope he likes one of the things I get him. So, but like,
I'm the wrong person to
Yeah.
ask because we just don't have a normal Christmas
yeah, it's different for us.
thing with Drew.
I get
So
sad, I cry.
every
Matt's
Christmas-
like, don't cry. You know.
like Christmas morning is not fun. It's
Wait a minute. I don't sob. I just get tears in my eyes. And don't say it's not fun.
Okay.
It's
Everyone,
emotional.
everyone has Christmas morning, and you love to see your kids like run to go see what Santa got. And like Drew, like this is not, I'm not being a sad thing, but like Drew doesn't do that. So he doesn't really understand or care about presents or anything like that. So and every year, Erica just hopes this is going to be the year that Drew comes in there on Christmas morning and is like, look at all my stuff from Santa. And it's okay.
Yeah. He doesn't. It's just,
And he doesn't, but it's okay. But we have a great Christmas morning.
yeah. So
We
don't
have
say
one-
Christmas morning is sad. Like it's not. Christmas morning is, you said it's not
You're
fun.
crying.
I know, but I'm
You're
not.
crying.
I
You're
cry, but
crying right now.
I cry for like 1 minute and then I'm not like depressed. I'm like, it's hard for me to watch him not. But then it's great because it doesn't matter to like, there's so many times where I'm like, gosh, I'll never have to experience that with Drew. Like, disappointed. He's never gonna be disappointed. He's never gonna get rejected. He's never, or he will, but he won't know, So like, there's so many beautiful things about Drew not getting it, like getting just it, meaning life in the world. Like, so there's so many times where I get sad, like right now not right now. Y'all aren't making me sad, but it's just the truth. And again, the people who know me the most, like, again, like I have some of the best people in my life who will text me the day before and be like, I know tomorrow's going to suck in the morning whenever you wake up. And Drew just wants to look at his iPad and doesn't care. And then again, but like anyway, so it's different. But like, let's go back to not Drew. How about him? Let's go back to kids. Like typically we get our nieces and nephews, like two things, like we spend a good bit on them because we can, and we spoil them. And it's just because their reactions are amazing. Like right now, my 8th grade niece picked out the shoes she wants. She wants like the fake Uggs, the little fake Ugg, like mules right now. The platform was that all the girlies are wearing. And so her and Reese both want a pair of those. And so they sent me the ones they want. Right. But every morning, Sophia's like, "Nay, I can't wait to get my shoes." Like she's so fired up, and like she already knows one of the big gifts she's getting because they're pricey. And she's so excited right now about it. She hasn't gotten them. So like that's fun for me. Because I bring her to school every morning, and then like Eli wants you to get him some new shoes, some new Jordans or whatever. And so like their reactions are going to be so fun. So we love to buy for them because we get a little taste of the reaction. Or like our very good friends, the Neals, like their kids are coming over Friday and I'm going to give them their gifts and they're going to be so excited and they're going to give me that reaction that I need to fulfill my heart.
Okay. So Trivia said, give me a number. All right.
2.
Okay. So how many children do you have, Trivia? I would think 500.
He said he don't want a number. He wants a.
He said, give me a number.
Oh, like I think he means a number of gifts, or does he mean a price?
Oh.
We're misreading. We're reading it differently. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the worst person to ask for this. Let everybody else answer. Yeah, how about this? Everyone else who has, don't let me answer. I don't know. Everyone else answer. You have multiple children. What's your rule for what you? Please, everyone who has children, what's your rule for what you spend for your children for Christmas? Like if you're getting your children presents, what do you get? Not what Santa's bringing, but like if you're getting something for your children, like what do you spend or how many gifts do you get? That's a better way to do it. Let people.
I know people who do like something you want, something you love, something you need, or something like that. Like they do like 3 little categories, or something to read, something to wear, something to play. Like I know people who've done that. So that's kind of a cool thing. I don't know. But don't give me anything to read, please.
Shelby said no rule for the price, but how many gifts he gets? Each kid gets 5.
Okay.
Trivia said I have one kid. We're over 17 gifts so far. Okay, now you're sounding like.
I love it, trivia.
Because Erica will go probably get that much stuff for Drew, right?
Yeah, then you won't want to.
and he doesn't want any. Or it's not that he doesn't want it; he just doesn't.
He doesn't like care, but he may. There's one thing we're doing for Drew, and this is again where I'll be like sad. Like so, he loves the checkout at Home Depot, and so I bought this scanner, and it's a black and orange scanner, and it just scans things, and it makes the noise, but it might not be the noise he likes. So I'm going to get him today a Home Depot bucket. And then I'm going to get a bunch of little things and print out the labels and put the little scanner labels on a bunch of just random things, like bigger things in the bucket. And then he can scan them. But
Ryan said, got to be the same amount for my 2 girls. My wife thinks $1,500 per kid.
okay, I like it.
$1,500?
Babe, things are expensive.
Golly.
I mean, but again, what are it's everybody's different means and different reasons. So again, like you can't, like 1,500 for some people might be nothing. 1,500 for other people might be like out of the world. So it just depends on what you can do. Do I think you should go over for Christmas and above? Yes. After Dad's show, what?
We're going.
Daddy's what?
Okay, maybe so.
Okay. Daddy's what? But I mean, that might be so totally out of the question for some people, which is fine. And again, it's just whatever you, I don't know.
I'm not sure how much my wife spends. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Matt, you have no idea how much I spent on Christmas. I haven't even bought Drew stuff yet, Matt. Like we haven't even finished the nieces and nephews.
Okay. What are we gonna buy?
I haven't gotten stuff for Anthony and Dominic yet.
Okay.
And Maria. And I mean, I got one
We
of
got some of the stuff.
some, but I'm not finished.
Yeah.
Got to get that done today.
Well, good. What you doing sitting
Well, you
here?
told me to come ask some questions.
Go spend money, Aaron.
I am.
Get out of here. Go spend money.
I am. Just wait.
All right, we're done. Thanks for being here, y'all. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. And Gulf South, depends on the age of the kids, how many kids you're buying for. I think that's true. 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. Yeah, like you would spend $1,500 on a 6-month. 2-year-olds getting actual gifts. Don't really have a price, only a few hundred maybe. Shove back to the second on the age rank. Cool. All right, y'all have an awesome day. Appreciate y'all for being here. Please go check out Locked on LSU podcast or YouTube. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Peace.